Mykal Fox, Meme Machine. What is his name? Egidijus Kavaliauskasvs.
Yeah.
Just got made. I think it's on the undercard of Fondora.
Yeah.
What you think of that fight?
That's another pick'em fight where it's a 50-50 fight. Egidijus has the experience. He's been in the bigger fights, but Mike Fox is always war ready. Not the biggest puncher, but smart fighter. Will let his hands go. I mean, he has the ability, he has the mind. You know what I mean? He's always game. He's going to be in shape. Big target, though, for Egidijus. Egidijus, the thing is with him, we don't know what he has left in the tank. I think it's a good fight for him because Mykal Fox isn't the biggest puncher, but he got a little shot on him. Egidijus, we got to really see what Egidijus is on because he's been stopped, what, twice now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
two out of the last 3 fights.
Yeah, so those when you get stopped, see, one thing to lose, but when you get stopped, it takes a little more off. You know what I mean? And we don't know what he have left. I like the fight for both guys though because it's a fight that get you back in the mentions, get you back in the mix. Mike Fox, what he has to do is get ready for the high velocity, the tempo. You know what I mean? The high velocity tempo is going to be real dirty in there, gritty in there. You know what I mean? Egidijus only knows one way. You know what I mean? And then when you're fighting that guy that big, it's never boxing. You always thinking about knocking him out. Whenever you're looking up at the guy, you're like, I got to knock him out. You know what I mean? So that's what Mike Fox had to prepare for. You know what I mean? Egidijus has to prepare for being outboxed. You know what I mean? So that way so what I mean by that, he has to be picking his feet up. If he's not picking his feet up and working his way in behind a jab, I mean, he could get outpointed the whole night.
Fox is coming off of probably the biggest robbery that we've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. Is that going to play into his psyche where he feels like he's going to have to press because Kavaliauskas is a bigger name than him?
Yeah. I mean, he could feel that way, or he could just be like, that's the game. Let me get ready for what's next. One thing I know, I trained with them for 2 weeks before. One thing I know about them, they train hard. You know what I mean? So if he want to pick it up, he could definitely pick it up, take it to the next level. But he just got to be prepared for that assault. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Be prepared for when he run at you because that's what he's going to have to do. He don't have nothing else that's going to help him in this fight. I've seen Egidijus in real life. He's shorter than me. You know what I mean? I'm short.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but they might hype it up on the stat sheets, say he a little taller, but he like an inch shorter than me. You know what I mean? But with a real wide body. So he don't really have too much of a jab. He's not a big jabber anyway, but he does have experience in big fights. So we know he's not nervous. Mike's been in some big fights too. Not as big as Egidijus, but been in some big fights. So I don't really see him being nervous. But he do got to get ready for that tempo. So with the sparring, I hope he's getting some guys that's, that's rugged, that's going to be running at him, throwing wild punches.
Do you need to see the European style?
Yeah, you need to see anything you can get. Any style you can get, you should see it. Because one day you may have to run into that style.
You train a European fighter, right? Mm-hmm. What's the biggest difference between their style and our style over here?
The biggest difference is the legs are straight up and down. They're not doing too much bending of the knees, and they love straight punches. You know what I mean? They love the point system. If they have power, they will use it, but it's like game. It's just like poke your shots, score, and get up out of there. The uppercuts and the hooks, you rarely see it. You know what I mean? Because again, they don't bend their knees. Their back is always straight up. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest challenge right now, working with a guy from the country of Georgia, trying to get him to throw hooks and uppercuts.
And the language barrier?
Language barrier is like broken, but we
make it work?
We do the best. I mean, they do have the translator app, and then, I can physically show them things I want them to do.
Is this one of your best achievements as a trainer? What? Like if you can get him to world level?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because you just named like 2 or 3 obstacles that.
Yeah. I always wanted to do that anyway, though, but I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough because it's not tough because he don't understand. It's tough because for years he's been doing it the European way. I mean, now you come to Philly and you get a black trainer. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time, but it's, you know what I mean? It'll work.
One of the things that cracks me up is seeing him like acclimate himself to our culture,
Yeah.
like with the double tap on the way
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You know what I mean? But he down with it though. He's 23 years old, so he with it.
If you had to lay money on the wood,
Yeah.
Fox, Mean Machine, who you going with?
Honestly, I wouldn't bet on this fight. I wouldn't bet on the fight because, again, Mike Fox this is probably toughest opponent in his career. Of course, Santa Maria was tough, and the fight after that was tough. But he is probably the most accomplished as far as his amateur career and stuff like that, and the guys he's been in there with. And Mike Fox is going to have to be a hell of a boxer that night. But Egidijus could hurt him, but at the same time, Egidijus could get outboxed too. So that's why I wouldn't bet on it. It's not like he's undefeated and been knocking everybody out. You know what I mean, he been getting knocked out. So I mean, the edge is, of course, if you ask me, is in Mike Fox's ball court. But I would say 50-50 fight. I wouldn't bet on the fight. Anything can happen.